promise to be brief because as a public speaker, you learn this statement: the ear can only hear what the rear can endear. Let some of y'all figure that out. All right, now I had to dust off the facts a little bit because I got it from my brother Phil, so we had to go back to 1974. So blame it on Phil if I miss a fact or two, because this is my same brother that taught me how to cuss. Oh, hell. My brother Tom, it's interesting, it's the four of us. My brother Tom, then it was Phil, then myself, Adrian, and then Al, and it was 4 of us in 5 years. And this is 1974, so let's go back to 1974. Who the heck remembers 1974? Let me see some hands. Wow. Remember 1974? Before cell phones, before internet, before electricity, before running water. Remember that? 1974, my brother Tom was almost a DeMatha legend that never happened. You see, he came out of St. Margaret's, out of Sea Pleasant, Maryland, Addison Road. And the interesting thing, most of the students coming out from St. Margaret's went to McNamara, which is about 5 miles away. Now, there was a few variables that almost kept Tom, my brother Tom, from going to DeMatha. One was that nobody went to DeMatha. Anthony Chapman, that came out in 76 with Hawkeye Whitney, and then Michael Wingfield, that came out in 77, and then Tom would have been 78, myself, Al, and Phil. So nobody went to DeMatha. They went to McNamara, or in public school, they went to Fairmont Heights, Bladensburg, Bowie, or Central High School. So nobody went to DeMatha. That was one variable. The second variable was somebody in our own house called Big Charlie, my dad. It was interesting because my dad, he didn't like DeMatha. I'll be honest, he hated DeMatha. It was interesting. This was the thing. There was 2 things about my dad that really didn't, and I'm getting the facts from Phil here, so blame it on Phil. But there were 2 things about DeMatha that he really didn't really care for. Dad was an inner high guy. He came out of Spingarn with my mom, 55, 56, and then he was a Mackin guy because my mom's youngest brother, Uncle Paul, came out in 66. So he's a Mackin guy. And so my dad, he didn't want Tom to go to DeMatha, one, because DeMatha won all the time for Coach Wooten. And the second reason, he thought they cheated. The referee's in his pocket. Lo and behold, Tom went to DeMatha, and he came out in the ranks. Their freshman class was undefeated, and then he went to play on the junior varsity. Wasn't anything flashy. Went on to make the team again his junior year, or coming off the bench, didn't start. And then 1978 happened with the Magic. All of a sudden, guys, 38 years ago, when my brother was the leading scorer on this team, a lot like 91, you would almost think, man, you saw that 1991 team, they didn't have overwhelming size, but they had winning intangibles. And one thing about my brother Tom that was so fascinating, he had a few qualities about him. One, he had winning intangibles, very intelligent. He could play 3 and 4 possessions ahead of the next person, so he could deflect the basketball, he could make a key steal, and then Coach Wooten always had that wheel route. So at 6'5", he was a post player, a lot like Mike Jones, post player. He's posting up, and he's their best shooter, 15 feet in, outstanding. The other thing is that he was very intelligent. So the 4 of us, I won't put our business out there, but Tom was all A's, Phil was B's, I was C's, and we'll let you figure out what happened with that. It's in paper, man. It's all right, so Tom also had letters. So he had winning intangibles. He was highly competitive, hated to lose. My brother Tom's about 6'5", hated to lose, winning intangibles. And the other thing, he had the it factor, very handsome guy. But the greatest thing about my brother was he was so doggone likable. If you knew my brother Tom, when we talk about Tom, we just have a smile on our face because Tom was so likable. Church folks call it favor. He had favor. But my brother Tom was so likable. Well off the basketball court, his greatest attribute to me was that he was so likable. In fact, his influence still goes so far that I wore 24, Phil wore 24, my cousin Big Ted that came out with Gerard Gustav in 88 wore 42. Everyone in our family either wore 24 or 42 or some variation, thinking it was following me, but it was actually following my brother Tom. My brother Tom had it all, winning qualities. He was the leading scorer, played with those guys like Joe Washington, Dutch Morley, and it was an amazing, magical season. The magic happened. My brother Tom now, I'm gonna leave you guys with this poem that I believe my mom used to say. She probably don't even remember, she used to tell us, but during the AAUs and traveling all up and down the East Coast, my mom would give this little jingle, and I think it's appropriate talking about my brother Tom. She would say something like this: wherever you wander, wherever you roam, be happy and healthy and glad to be home. DeMatha, on behalf of my brothers, for my brother Tom. My brother Tom, resting with Jesus, is happy and healthy and glad to be home. Hallelujah.